All right, y'all. So it's Thanksgiving Day, and I'm just here doing some research, some studying, and something came to my mind. So I want to share something with you guys real quick. So this week, crazy week, couple of colleague, an associate that I know committed suicide, and a friend of a friend committed suicide. So two people, one that I know of, and the other person I know someone who know that person. So one is somebody who works in my business. Another one is somebody that I know their friend committed suicide. So I've heard of two people committed suicide, and both were similar. Like one's in Queens, one's in Jersey, and the situations were similar because it was over women. It had to do with women, right? And so I just want to say, if anybody's under the sound of my voice, if you know paying attention to anything, I got like all these books that I've written on relationships and failed relationships and how to handle failed relationships, and I'm like an expert at the shit. My credentials is I've been through so many of the failed relationships. I've failed so many relationships. I'm successful now. Right? I have some credibility. You know what I'm saying? I'm still single, so I really don't have the credibility yet because I haven't figured it out. But I have the credibility in the sense of how to deal with the failure. You see what I'm saying? Like there's always an upside. There's always an upside. You just got to be able to see it. So the upside for me is I've had all these failed relationships and I'm still here. I haven't blown my brains out and I haven't blown anybody else's brains out. And I'm not sitting in prison somewhere. It's a sad story. Like I said, these two guys, one I know, the other I heard of, taking their lives because of failed relationships or whatever having to do with that. So let me just say this. There's a cartoon called Spirit. I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but if you haven't seen it, it's a cartoon called Spirit. It's about a horse. And this is very telling here. It's very telling about, humanity, human nature. Because we do belong to the animal kingdom. So peep game. In the cartoon, right, I'm going to keep it short. In the cartoon, the horse is called Spirit. The cartoon is called Spirit. And this horse is a wild horse. And you have all these men trying to ride the horse. They're trying to break the horse in. And you got like these macho, camacho, strong, tough, manly, masculine cartoon characters, men, and they all try to break the horse in. And the more they try to ride the horse, the more rebellious and resistant the horse becomes. And there's all these tough guys, and I'll break the horse, and they all get in there, and the horse throws them off. Then another tough guy, I'll break this horse, and he throws them off. And they keep trying to break the horse in with their masculine, manly, strong, and the horse rebels and throw their ass off. Then there's one dude, again, I watched this cartoon years ago. It was either a female or it was a dude. I don't remember. You guys go check the cartoon out. It's probably on Netflix or some shit. But there was one person, I don't remember if it was a guy or a girl, but there was one person who the horse actually let that person ride him. And I think it was a female. I don't remember. But whatever it was, the person in the cartoon, the person connected with the horse. They didn't go in there and try to, macho, camacho, masculine, strong, it was like a connection. You got to watch the cartoon. You see it. There was a certain spiritual connection between the person and the horse. And the horse understood the person, and the person understood the horse, and they had a synchronization. They had what I like to call an harmonious equilibrium, right? A balancing out of the ethos, of the power. And the horse submitted. And the person was gallivanting, frolicking around, riding the horse in the pen. And all the strong macho camacho dudes was just standing out there looking at this happening, and they couldn't figure it out. They was like, busting their brain. How the hell I say all that to say this, fellas. If she don't want you to ride her, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta let it go. You gotta let it go, man. I'm talking to my brothers out there. Let them go. If the horse will not let you ride, if you gotta fight and struggle to break that horse in, let that horse go. Move on to another horse. Don't be like the macho, camacho, pride, ego-driven, megamaniacs out there in the cartoon that kept trying to break the horse and kept getting tossed to the ground. Because what's going to happen is, it's the same, we follow the same precepts and principles, right? No different than the animals because we're a part of that kingdom. A woman is not going to be submissive to you if your energy and hers is not in coagulation or in some kind of harmonious balance or equipoise, right? Equipoise, which is a balance. If your energy and her energy does not synchronize, she's not going to submit to you. And it doesn't matter how much money. If you got a lot of money and you're coming at her from the money game, she's going to submit to your money. She has not submitted to you. And should that money game run short, so is that submission. You see what I'm saying? A woman can only submit feminine to masculinity. That's it. She can only submit to your masculine and then that feminine energy. Because remember, we're talking about energies here. Put aside the personification, the physical corporeal forms of human beings. Put that aside and let's just deal with it from a scientific and deal with it from a spiritual, because it's all about entities and energies. And if the feminine energy does not harmonize with the masculine energy, then you're going to have what Dmitry Medvedev and all these scientists talks about in the periodic table. You're going to have a combustion, right? It's going to be inflammatory, right? Certain chemicals create combustions, right? They become combustible. They become inflammatory. They're violent. Certain chemicals become violent when you try to mix them together. They have a violent reaction. And so putting aside we're humans, put that all aside, because we're chemicals first. We're not humans, we're chemicals first. You see what I'm saying? We're chemical creatures, we're biochemical creatures. So when a woman won't submit, you gotta understand her energy, her chemicals and your chemicals are not in sync. So no matter how much you try to force it, she's going to rebel more and more and more and more. And you're just going to end up in jail or sadly, in the grave. So fellas, learn to let them go. Learn to walk away. Lick your wounds. And I'm talking specifically to the fellas here because I'm a man just like you and I know what it feels like. Here's what we got to get over. Here's our hang up. This is what gets us into stalker mode and gets us locked up or whatever. Take your ego, your bruised ass pride, and flush that shit down the toilet. I'm talking man to man here. You know what I'm saying? Take your bruised ego, your pride, right? Take all that beating your chest and flush that shit down the toilet. The reality is you ain't shit. That's the reality. That's the hard cold facts. You ain't shit. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. Go look in the mirror and tell yourself you ain't shit. And decipher what I mean. In her mind, that's how she views you. You ain't shit in her mind. Wrap that around your head. And the most important thing of all that I'm going to say in this video is this: acceptance. Accept in your mind, that in her mind, you ain't shit. Accept that. Lick your wounds. Put your tail between your legs. And saunter. Step. In the name of love. You know what I'm saying? Or lack of. You got to know how to. Here's another word for you. Humility, fellas. When I say you ain't shit, I mean that from a humble state of mind. We know, look, every morning I look in the mirror and I anoint myself. I baptize myself. Meaning I boost my own, I pat myself on my back. I give myself my own flowers. I don't wait. Put it like this. Validate yourself. That's what I mean. Validate yourself. In her mind, you ain't shit. Accept that. In your mind, you are the bomb. You dig? You see how I'm trying to pay, what I'm trying to tell you? Validate yourself. It's called self-esteem, meaning esteem yourself. Have a purpose, fellas. Have a purpose. Have a goal. Have something bigger than yourself to live for. Bigger than your kids to live for. Bigger than these women to live for. So that when these things are taken away, because they normally do, that's life, or should they be taken away, you won't lose it and kill yourself. Or stalk the woman and end up in prison. Have something bigger. Have a goal, a purpose, your life purpose. Make your purpose for why you are alive bigger than relationships. Some of y'all got it backwards. Y'all got the relationships bigger than your purpose. And when the relationship fail, you fail. When the relationship lose, you lose. When the relationship crumble, you crumble. That is a weak ass mindset to have. I'm telling you, I've been through failure after failure after failure in terms of relationships. And let me tell you something. I'm going to fail better every fucking time. You hear me? I'm going to fail my way to success. You dig? I still walk around here like I got a golden, you know what I'm saying, fellas. I don't give up. Can't no woman out here on this planet take away from me. It's a fact. Why? Because, fellas, I've been there. I done lost house, cars, assets. Just sum it up. Walked away from it all. Walked away from it all. I done laid on the floor with boogers coming out my nose, cried like a baby. You dig? Broken, crushed by these women. Been there. Lost weight, couldn't eat, went through the hell. And I say all that to say here I still stand saying, I am the fucking man. And I love me. You dig? Take some of that right there. Take some of that truth serum, fellas. Inject it into your veins. And stop letting these women break you, manipulate you, shake you. Have something bigger. Love yourself first. Love your purpose first. Be on your purpose, be on your business, be on your grind first. And the right person, the right woman will gravitate into your life and complement your life. And then the masculine and feminine energy will have what's called, again, equilibrium, and you'll be able to ride that horse without trying to, manhandle and you have to, wrestle and fight to get that horse to submit and no. You shouldn't have to fight to get the horse to submit. The horse should want to submit. But the horse only going to submit to you if you walking in your purpose. The horse only going to submit to the person who has the presence of power. If you're present, and it ain't a knock, I've been there, like I said, don't feel inferior or don't feel like, you're not good enough. Don't feel like, damn, I ain't shit. Listen, accept it. Accept it. It's a part of life. That's why humility must be practiced. Because if you humble yourself, and if you got a humble mindset, if you humble in your mindset, when these women and when these relationships come to crush you, you won't lose it. Because you already know in your mindset that, listen, man, at the end of the day, I really ain't that fly anyway. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, it's a balance. You gotta have confidence in yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta tell yourself every day, you're the man, you're the man. That's confidence. Then you gotta balance that confidence off with some humble pie, some humility. Like, all right, I'm the man, but at the same time, I also understand I can get it. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, my ship could sink. I'm the man, but at the same time, I'm not the man. You know what I'm saying? There's another man out there who's better than me. That's a fact. That's a fact. There's another dude out there who's richer than me. Fact. There's another dude out there who's taller than me. Fact. There's another dude out there who got more money than me. Fact. You see how you do it? That's how you humble yourself. You humble yourself. So that when these women diss you or play with your mind or try to play with you, she can't do that. Because you done prepared yourself. That, okay, you gonna leave me for that dude? All right, you know what? It's cool. Because I knew there was a dude out there better than me anyway. That's a reflection that you ain't the woman that I'm supposed to go through my journey with. And I thank you for the moments we shared and the lessons that I've gotten, and I appreciate you for that. Now, Avapaderchi, step in the name of love, or lack thereof. Peace, fellas.